Taylor, Daniel Defoe, 1660 to 1731, was an English writer and journalist. He is most famous for his novel Robinson Crusoe. A prolific and versatile writer, Defoe is also known for pamphlets and journals on various topics. The following text is adapted from a section on Daniel Defoe's famous novel Robinson Crusoe and tells us how Crusoe, after being shipwrecked, found himself on a desolate island. It also gives us an inspiring account of how he makes the island habitable with his hard work. Daniel Defoe's work, A Shipwrecked Sailor, actually from Robinson Crusoe it has been taken. This is a wonderful text where we find that how Robinson Crusoe made his life habitable against a lot of hardships. In spite of having a lot of hardships, how life became again smooth for them. Okay, on September 30, 1659, I, miserable Robinson Crusoe, being shipwrecked during a violent storm, came on shore on this dismal island. I call it the island of despair. I was almost dead, and the rest of my ship's company was drowned. I had neither food, house, nor clothes. I feared I would be devoured by wild beasts. When night came, I slept in a tree for fear of wild creatures. It rained all night. The rain continued through the next day with gusts of wind. Only a wreck of my ship was to be seen at low water. I swam to the wreck to rescue and secure for my survival some food and other provisions. I was able to collect some wood, cable, string, a knife, nails, and a gun. I also collected a hammock and some canvas with which I made a tent. I got some ink and paper. I also found some money, but they were useless to me in this barren island. I was some 100 leagues out of the ordinary course of the trade of mankind. I was convinced I would have to spend the rest of my life alone in this wild, desolate island. I searched long for a place of safe habitation. I found a little plain on the side of a rising hill. On the rocky wall of the hill there was a hollow place worn in, like the entrance to a cave. On the flat of the green, just before this hollow, I resolved to pitch the tent. I cut the wood I collected into stakes. I drove them into the ground in a semicircle around my tent. The stakes stood 6 inches apart from each other. I put the cables I had rescued from the ship around the stakes in the manner of a fence. I used a short ladder to go over the fence. Once in, I withdrew the ladder after me so that I was completely fortified against the world outside. Into this tent, I brought all my stores and provisions. After I had been on the island for 10 or 12 days, it occurred to me that I would lose the measure of time. This was because I had neither watch nor calendar. To prevent this, I cut out with my knife upon a large post the date of my landing. I put a notch with my knife for every day. After a long spell of rain, I saw some fair weather around 7th November. I spent the next couple of days making small wood boxes to keep my provisions dry from the rain. Among the things I rescued from the ship, there was a small bag of corns meant for poultry feed. Most of it had been devoured by rats. I saw nothing but husks and dust in the bag. I emptied the contents outside my wall. This was a little time before the great rains. A month later, I discovered green stalks shooting out of the ground. I was astonished to discover it was perfect green barley. By the June of 1660, I had gained security of food and shelter. In the same month, I developed a high fever and lay weak and thirsty. I recovered around 30th and gradually felt stronger than the day before. On the 15th of July, I took a more particular survey of the island. Around 2 miles up, I found a brook with pleasant meadows by its bank, plain, smooth, and covered by grass. In a woody part, I found melons in great abundance and grape trees. The grapes were ripe and rich. Further into the land, I found a great number of cocoa orange and lemon trees. I carried great parcels of fruit homeward, and the journey took me 3 days. I was tempted to transfer my habitation to this valley of fruits. I did not, because I still hoped to be rescued by some passing ship on the sea. I did not want to enclose myself in hill and woods. I stayed in view of the sea. 10 months had passed since I had set foot on this island. Previously, I had no lamp after dark. I collected a little tallow and a small clay dish. To this, I added a wick. I had thus made myself a lamp. I now began to seriously consider the circumstance I was reduced to. I decided to describe my state of affairs in writing. I began to keep a journal of everyday's employment. I could not include all particulars because gradually I ran out ink. I found by the notches I cast on the post, it was September 30th again. I had spent 365 days on the island. So you can understand that even though we may fall in adversity, if you have the grit, if you have determination, you can make the inhospitable life hospitable. We see that Robinson Crusoe, he was left on an uninhabitable island full of unknown dangers. Sometimes if you know the dangers, then you are better prepared to protect yourself. But when you do not know what dangers are there hiding, obviously you are in a more difficult situation how to protect yourself. So Robinson Crusoe did not know what dangers might be hidden there. There might be dangerous animals, there might be dangerous savages, might be other problems also. Still, he made his life hospitable simply by keeping his patience and by continuing with his determination, his grit. So he had kept the name of the island as Dismal Island, the island of despair, because there was nothing to encourage, only despair and despair and despair. But gradually, one after another, at first he made his home, and he selected a particular place which must be very close to the sea, and it was protected on 3 sides. It was protected on one side, and he made a fence. He cut some wood but before that he collected some materials, some useful materials from the ship. The ship was half wrecked, it was half sunk. From there he collected some materials like a hammock, then canvas, then various kind of things, other things as well. But he did not take any money. The wood, cable, string, knife, nails, gun, these were the things that he collected. But he did not take the money. Why? Because the money is valuable only when you can use it to buy things that you need. But if you cannot buy things with money that you have got, then your money is not an wealth. It is only a liability. It also happened so, he threw away them. And so he made his life hospitable by making a suitable home first. And he cut woods with the help of the axe, and he changed them into stake. He sharpened one end of the wood, the wooden timbers, and then thrust them into the soil to make a fence, half round fence. And then he fortified it, and he maintained a gap from one stake to another between stakes about 6 inches. Okay, how much? 6 inches apart from each other, so that visibility could be clear. Between through the opening between the stakes, he could see through what was happening outside. And then he also made a ladder. Now, if he wanted to go outside, he put the ladder on the fence, and on the other side again also he put the ladder, and then he got down. But if he would have to come in, then with the help of the ladder he got in. But once he had got inside his house, he would remove the ladder so that no one else could go in. In this way, he said that I got my home completely fortified against the world outside, means completely protected against the world outside. Now, after he had been on the island for about 10 or 12 days, suddenly he remembered that he did not have the measure of time, because there was no calendar, no clock, and how would he maintain the measure of time? And then he told himself that, well, Sunday is the day of prayer, and if I do not keep the measure of day, then perhaps on Sunday I will. In the original book, it was there. He did not want to work on Sunday because the Sunday is the day of the prayer, and that is why he also needed to keep the measure of the day. But how would we do that? So he improvised his own calendar. He cut with the knife a large post the date of my landing. On a large post he carved with a knife the date of his landing, and then he put a notch with his knife every day, for every single day. One day first he put a notch, and then every seventh day was a Sunday for him. After a long spell of rain, I saw some fair weather around 7th November. I spent the next couple of days making small wooden boxes to keep my provisions dry from the rain. So one after another he made things necessary for himself. The boxes, he made into wooden boxes. Among the things I rescued from the sea, there was a small bag of corns meant for poultry feed. Poultry feed means which would be used as food for the poultry animals, the hens or the ducks or something like this, hens or ducks. Most of had been devoured by rats. I saw nothing but husk and dust in the bag, only husk and dust, because with open eyes he could not see anything else except these things, because no grains could be seen properly. I emptied the contents outside my wall. This was a little time before the great rains, just before the great rains. A month later I discovered green stalks shooting out of the ground. I was astonished to discover it was perfect green barley. By the June of 1660 I had gained security of food and shelter. So you can understand what thing changed into what. He had collected a lot of things from the sunken ship, and of that there was a bag of corns which was actually meant for poultry feed. Most of the solid grains had been eaten away by rats. Only the husk and dust could be seen. But before the great rains, he just emptied the bag just outside his wall. But after about 1 month, he saw that wonderful barley plants had grown up. And so you can understand that from those barley plants grew new barley. Barley is a kind of cereal which is very good for us. It is laden with a lot of carbohydrate and other energy giving materials. So by the June of 1660, he had gained the security of food and shelter. Earlier he had made his home, and then he had made the wooden boxes to keep its provisions dry, protected against rains, and now that he made his own cultivation, so he got food security. In the same month I developed a high fever and lay weak and thirsty. I recovered around 30th and gradually felt stronger than the day before. So he developed a fever, and with the help of his immunity, by taking rest physically and mentally, he gradually recovered by 30th and then felt stronger than before. Now on the 15th of July, he took a more particular survey for the island. That means he wanted to make a survey. He wanted to examine the locality, and he went around 2 miles upstream by following a meadow, by following a pleasant pleasant brook, pleasant stream, pleasant river. Okay, and he saw that on either side of it there were lots of fruit trees. There were melons, there were grapes, various kind of fruits, and he carried great parcels of fruit homewards, and the journey took him 3 days. For the next 3 days he collected a lot of ripe fruit and carried them home. At first he was tempted to transfer the habitation. He thought that, well, since food is available plentifully here, why don't I change my residence here? Instead of my old residence, why can't I make a new residence over here? But at the last moment he checked himself, because he realized that if he would change his residence, he would have to stay inside the valley. He would have to stay inside the island, and so he would not be able to see any passing ship. And if he would not see any passing ship, then what would happen? There would be no chance for his rescue. So he said that he must remain very close to the sea, so that he would have an eye on the sea, so that any passing ship might rescue him. So he checked his idea of changing his residence to the food valley. Okay. Previously I had no lamp after dark. I collected a little tallow and a small clay dish. To this I added a wick. I had thus made myself a lamp. So working in the evening is quite a difficult task because there was a difficult because there was no light, and he had to improvise the light. What would he do? He had killed a lot of goats to get the food, to get the meat for as food, and he had also collected some fat, the tallow. He kept them in a jar. He kept them in an earthen jar, earthen pot, and then he put a wick inside it. Put a clay wick inside it. Wick means polte, and thus he made himself a lamp. You can see. So with the help of this lamp, he could work at night. Now I began to seriously consider the circumstance I was reduced to. I decided to describe my state of affairs in writing. He wanted to keep a record, the way he used to pass his days over there. And so he began to keep a journal of every day's employment. But he could not have the affordability to include all the minor points because he gradually ran out ink. There was not sufficient ink to write him more. Only the precise incidents of daily affairs he used to record. And then one day on 30th September, when he counted the notches again, he realized that he had stayed over there a whole year. There were 365 days that he had stayed over there. Okay. So take down the questions first. Then we will do the textual questions. Take down the additional questions first. Give a short introduction of the writer of the text, a shipwrecked sailor. Give a short introduction of the writer of the text, a shipwrecked sailor. Number 1. Number 2. What kind of text is a shipwrecked sailor? What kind of text is a shipwrecked sailor? Okay. Then describe briefly how Crusoe reached the strange island. Describe briefly how Crusoe reached the strange island. Okay. By what name did Crusoe call the island, and why? And why? Okay. What did Crusoe do when the night came? What did Crusoe do when the night came, and why did he do that? And why did he do that? In what way did the sunken ship? In what way did the sinking ship? Better write. In what way did the sinking ship come of help to Robinson Crusoe? Come of help to Robinson Crusoe. Okay. How did Crusoe get the security of home? How did Crusoe get the security of home? Okay. Then, how did Crusoe get his food security? How did Crusoe get his food security? Okay. When did Crusoe realize the need of keeping the measure of time? When did Crusoe realize the need of keeping the measure of time? And what did he do then? And what did he do then? How did Crusoe recover from the fever? What did Crusoe experience while surveying the island? What did Crusoe experience while surveying, surveying, surveying the island? Why did Crusoe want to shift his residence? Why did Crusoe want to shift his residence? And why did he check at the last moment? And why did he check at the last moment? How did Crusoe realize that? How did Crusoe realize that he had stayed for a whole year in the island? This many will do. Okay. Now the MCQ type questions you will do yourselves. These are all very simple. Exercise 2 and 3 we will do yourself. What name did Crusoe give to the dismal island? We will do the grammar here. Okay. Underline the adverbs and state their kind. It is too hot today. Too. Okay. Too hot. These two, what kind of adverb it is? It is adverb of degree. The girl seldom visits my house. Seldom is adverb of time. He searched everywhere for the book. Everywhere is adverb of place. The boy runs fast. Fast is adverb manner. Now underline the subordinate clause in the following sentence and state what kind of clause is there. She asked me what my name is. What my name is a subordinate noun clause, object to the verb asked. Object to the verb asked. He is a friend who has always helped me. Who has always helped me. This is a subordinate adjective clause qualifying the noun friend. Please enter the room when you are asked to. When you are asked to, this is adverb clause of time. Adverb clause of time. That he will win is known to us. That he will win is the noun clause, subject to the verb is known. Noun clause, subject to the verb is known. Identify the following sentences as simple, complex and compound. They predicted that it would rain. They predicted that it would rain, obviously given. One principal clause, they predicted that it would rain is subordinate noun clause. So one principal, one subordinate noun is complex sentence. This is a complex sentence. The weather being fine, the children went out to play. This is a simple sentence. The weather being fine is a phrase, adverb phrase. The children went out to play is the principal clause. One fine adverb, so simple sentence. Robbie woke up early, but he could not reach school on time. Robbie woke up early is principal clause. He could not reach school on time is another principal clause. But is the coordinating conjunction joining these two. So this is a compound sentence. Robbie woke up early, but he could not reach school on time. Finishing his work, my father returned home. Finishing his work, this is an adverb clause of time. My father returned home is the principal clause. So one phrase, one clause, one finite verb, make it simple sentence. It is a simple sentence. Now do as directed. Tatar hoped to do well in the examination. Change into a complex sentence. Tatar hoped that he would do well in the examination. Tatar hoped is the principal clause, that he would do well in the examination, subordinate noun clause. The headmistress arrived and the meeting began. As the headmistress arrived, the meeting began. As the headmistress arrived is the subordinate noun adverb clause, that meeting began, principal clause. Ayesha was surprised when she heard the news. Change into a simple sentence. Hearing the news, Ayesha was surprised. Or Ayesha was surprised hearing the news. Simple sentence. You must work hard to be successful in life. Change into a compound sentence. You must work hard or you will not be successful in life. You must work hard or you will not be successful in life. Okay. Now you had been ill for 3 days. Write a letter to the headmaster of your school seeking leave of absence for those days. Okay. Leave of absence. So I will just make the format and you will have to write it. Where for leave of absence. Now start writing here and you will come to the next line. Write a bigger hand. With due respect, I beg to state for your kind information, that I could not attend school for 3 days. From 02 to 04 June, 2020. 02 to 04 June 2020 due to a sudden attack of influenza. Full stop. Next paragraph. I shall be really obliged if you kindly grant me leave of absence for those days only. I shall be really obliged if you kindly grant me leave of absence for those days only. Then one more paragraph. With regards, I remain. Last, you can write here. With regards, I remain, sir. Then yours obediently, OBEDIENTLY. Yours obediently, your name. Say, I will write here Ranjan Raj. Then class, section, roll number. And the left hand side, place. Kolkata, 28/05 June 2020. Okay, got it? Thank you. Very good.